Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is an update for Cardano. Just to show you my count on the daily, I'm looking for this wave to complete as a ending diagonal to complete the entire correction. There's a couple ways we can bottom here. So I'm on log scale here, and you know the most likely area we bottom is between the 50 and the 618. So we're coming right into that area. We're at the 50 right now of this impulse to the upside. And I have two counts here. Either this is making an ending diagonal in red, as you see, and we need to come down to around 12.5 cents. Or the ending diagonal started over here, and we had a really short wave to at the 382, and we finish in this gray count, which would have us finishing around 19-20 cents, which we're pretty close to. But as of right now, still have us down to the downside, at least in the meantime, but we'll have to pay attention what happens at this gray trend line. If we end up reacting pretty impulsively at the end of this, or if we keep coming down, come to 16 cents, then come up correctively for our fourth. So we'll be paying close attention at that. But coming down to the 4 hourly, we're halfway through this potential ending wave or the wave 3. And you know we've been looking for a triangle for quite some time. And my original plan was to sell this breakout here, but I didn't like how this E wave looked. It just didn't quite do it for me to take this entry. If you are in the entry and you ended up taking it, I can give what I would do in that situation, and that is to move my stop at each pivot level, just to protect that, because I actually think there's a couple things that could be happening. Either this is making a barrier triangle and we get a second shot at that E leg. If we get a correction up here, I'll probably take the short. So we're still working on our D wave and we're going to get our E wave. That's the barrier scenario. Again, the E can already be in. It's can already be in, but it didn't quite look quite how I'd like it to take the trade myself. So if we get this wave to the upside, I'll look to take a short at that E wave. Alternatively, we could be getting a expanded B wave and make a flat here. I'd expect to make a flat more than an expanded flat. All that would be is you take the fib levels from our A wave over here in blue, and you put the 1.236, the 1.382, that's the most likely area we would pivot. So what that would look like is this comes down in 3, and then we make a 3 or 5 wave move up, and then we continue to the downside. So either one of these scenarios look pretty good. I would take the E wave if we come up from here, but if we come down to the B wave, I'd wait for this to finish before taking my entry, and it would end up making most likely a channel wherever we get our B wave, come up to our A. Somewhere around here would be the 1-to-1 extension when it finishes. So that's what I'm looking at for Cardano. And if this is the E wave up here and we just take off to the downside, I'll probably miss this trade. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be an A, B, C. We come up for our E, and I'd be looking for a trade, and I'll give that setup if we get it. But if this is our E wave top, and we just take off to the downside from here, and we got our original shape, which I'm not a huge fan of, which was over here. Then our 1-2 would be starting right here. We'd come to the underside of the channel and we'd just take off to the downside from here to make our third or fifth wave. But at this moment, you can see it's not really worth chasing. because I have the triangle being able to turn into a barrier, in which case we'd get more upside, potentially getting stopped out of this trade, or we just drop a little bit and make that C wave. But if I've missed the triangle, it's too late. It's not a good enough entry for me to take at this moment. My only entry available would be if we get a 5 wave here, trying to get that 50 and the 618 as our 1-2 and go for our impulse wave to the downside. But that's not quite enough for me at the moment. Might change depending what sort of wave we get from here, but I'll make sure to update you what I'm doing. But at the moment, expecting either this to become a barrier triangle or we come down for this B wave and make a flat pattern. And if the impulse has started from up here, then I've missed the trade, unfortunately. All right, guys, I wish I had... I kind of screwed up. I wish I had, if I could go back in time, but it's too late because we got that crazy spike. I wish I had some short entries up at this level at around the 618 retracement of this potential D wave and put my stop at the C, because if I could go back in time, I would have had those orders set so I wouldn't have missed this, and I'd be up pretty nicely in the trade, almost 2-1 at the moment. But we can't live in the past. We just remember that for next time. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the computer, because that would have been a nice entry for both the triangle and this expanded B wave. But it is what it is. I'll try not to forget that next time. I'll make sure to actually have those orders in place ahead of time. All right, guys, so that's it for Cardano. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on this trade and what I'm doing, and check out my other videos if you want to see my other setups. All right, thanks for watching.